Combos Wrestling Edition. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome to the Most C Wrestling Review and Live Reaction Show on all of YouTube. Welcome to A and B Combos Wrestling Edition. I can hear myself.
Yeah, we got some echo going on over here.
So we are good to go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about today, man.
I mean, I don't know that we were super surprised. It is a merger. But I guess, like, I know they just released staff and stuff, but I would think you would give it some more time. There was no time.
Well, I believe that there were some employees backstage, behind the scenes, people that were released already.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
I mean, that always happens in a merger. It just does.
It sucks when everybody loses their job. We don't really see the behind the scenes people. We know there are a lot of people, just like with this lovely program that you're watching today. It's not just us, you know, and we appreciate everybody that is involved with WWE, but we see the on-air talent week after week after week. And yes, there was a merger we all kind of expected. And if you haven't heard, if you don't know, now you know, which is also kind of sad. Top Dolla, holla,
that's not surprising.
shot call, fly. I don't really know.
Only him or all of Hit Row?
So far, it's just him. But today there was a slew of talent releases.
I actually don't know who they all are.
She does not. So
I heard some of them, and I was like, just tell me the rest on air.
But
actually,
we started to look at it in the morning.
Let me give a shout out to the Mod Squad real quick. I believe Jaden Winchester's in the house. Sophie Dolphy in the house.
Do you need a Chop t-shirt? No, she does not.
Neptune X. Yes, baby. Yes. I'm with that. Yes, thank you to those three mods in the house. Appreciate your Mod Squad.
Appreciate the Mod Squad first in line with that fast pass. Dingle Bop, we acknowledge you. Thank you for coming.
Thanks,
and we would have done this earlier. Unfortunately, I was not feeling well at all. Damn near passed out. Not quite sure what happened. Heart was racing, pulse was racing, BP, pulse ox, everything was off. So I had to rest, take some fluids.
It's usually me, y'all.
Yeah, I was not well. I don't know what happened there. So we would have done this much earlier. And I'm so sorry that we weren't able to, but thank you for joining us. I know it's late for some people. And we're not going to take up too much of your time because we're going to go live again. There's a lot to talk about. We know this is just the beginning. WWE releases. A lot of people, main talent people, NXT people. We're going to get some shouts and we're going to get into it. We got Isaiah Smalls, baby. All right, Isaiah Smalls. We got the Nation of Domination. That's what I'm talking about right up in there. We got Rickety. What's going on, Rickety? I love that. We got Rashawn Spiller. Yes, sir. Fareed Saheed. What up, Zay? It's good to see you in the house, Zay. Yes, indeed. Jody Bennett. Woo! What up, Jody? Kyle Fisher.
Hey, Kyle.
We acknowledge you. I love that, man. Good to see you in here. Wesley Franklin.
Hey, Wesley. Always a pleasure.
We got 901 Shogun of Harlem. It's the Shogun. And who am I? The Shogun of Harlem. Old school movie. Anybody know what that movie is that I just did? What did I quote? George Lowry. What up, George? Good to see you up in here, man. Thank y'all for joining us. Late. We got Guy to CDC. Ooh.
What up, Guy?
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
My favorite 90s group.
I feel you on that one. I'm a little upset about that one too. I'm not even gonna lie. Sophie Dovey, OG, Triple OG. I think you already said what's up to OG.
Mod in the house.
850, big boy. What up, 850? Did we? No, we did not. Khalid Muhammad, Wrestling Bray Wyatt.
Khalid.
Hello, it's good to see you in here. Yes, sir. Anthony. Yeah.
What up, Anthony?
What's going down, man?
Latino.
Good to see you up in here. All right, I think we got Neptune X.
Yes, that's a mod right
We
there.
got the mod. Yes, indeed. All right, folks.
All right, so break it off because I know I heard a few, but let me get the list. Let me get the list, and then we can talk about
get
how
into
we feel.
it.
We got to talk about the feelings.
What up, Michael Tolbert?
Because there are feelings involved, y'all.
Flop Dollar. That's hilarious. Just Alex, I'm here for a minute. Like the video. You gonna get that honorable mention. Just Alex of Alex's World of Safe Space Wrestling fans like you and like us. He also did a video. He kept me in the know today because I was down and out for pretty much all day. Pretty much all day. I was a hot mess all day. So I thank you, Just Alex, for helping keep me in the know. Yeah. All right. So look, check it out. I'm gonna get the ticker. One more shout because I love to say it. John Ali 45 for life. All right, let me get the ticker up.
All right. I'm trying not to look down at the screen, y'all. I'm trying to find out.
All right, I'm going to read it off on the ticker.
All right.
It's just going to be in order. WWE Releases, as you already know.
Mustafa.
As you already know, Mustafa Ali unceremoniously released. Okay, shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have gone down like that.
No, we can't talk about them one at a time. You got.
I'm not going to talk about one at a time. I'm just saying.
Just that particular one.
I feel a type of way.
Yeah, I mean, when someone asks you for your release and they're trying to move on, and you're like, hell no, and then let them go.
I feel a type of way about that. So I'm going to just say the names.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to say the names as they are coming across the ticker. Do not look at the ticker.
Got you. I'm not looking.
Live reaction.
Live reaction.
Live reaction right here. All right, and I know there's a super chat. I'm going to get to that in just a second. WWE Releases. I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. Dolph Ziggler. Who wants to walk with Elias? Mustafa Ali. Shelton Benjamin. Top Dolla. Riddick Emma. Aaliyah. Rick Boogs. NXT's Quincy Elliott, Bryson Montana, Dana Brooke, Mansoor and Mace, Shanky, Dabakato, also known as Commander Aziz, Yulissa Leon, Daniel MacArthur, Kevin Ventura, Cortez, and Alexis Gray. These are a lot of names from NXT. A lot of people didn't watch NXT, and we know that from firsthand experience being up in here. We did watch NXT. There were a lot of young cats coming up. But I got to be honest with you. There's some names in here that are a shock. And I've been reading all day that there's some people who have been a little out of pocket. You know, like I'm not surprised, or, you know, so-and-so wasn't on TV, or, you know, whatever the case may be. They weren't really using catering. We joke about that in catering too. I'm going to start with Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, I mean, he asked for his release when he was ready to go, and they refused. Tried to do a few different things, but ultimately, he was booked for the next pay-per-view for a title shot
against Dirty Dom.
I mean, even if it is NXT.
Doesn't matter.
That's crazy.
Doesn't
like
matter.
I never understand the mid storyline. You know, I don't get that. And I think he's a great talent. And I understand if he was just sitting in catering, I'd be like, okay, I almost forgot he went here. But
no, he almost begged for it. He was showing his talent on his own time. We saw what he was doing in NXT. We have his mask right up here. When he was in NXT, the whole lineup, I loved his whole vibe. Comes over to the main, and we've said this so many times. We've said it so many times. You have NXT talent that are utilized. Come up on the main roster, disappear. Yes, there have been people, obviously, that have been utilized, you know, Bailey and Charlotte. I mean, there are people that have made a name for themselves, even Seth freaking Rollins. Now you have a whole swath of people on the main roster showing up in NXT. Mustafa was one of these guys. that he finally was involved. You finally saw him week after week, and he was in a situation now where he was going to be in a title match. You held this man hostage. There have been people that have asked for their release, and it was granted. If you don't have time for your talent, and they say, "Hey, I want out,"
Right.
let him go.
Right. Don't hold him if you're not going to do nothing with them.
But not only did you not let him go, you put him on the shelf. Then you bring him over to NXT. You dangle championship gold in front of him.
And then just cut him.
That's messed up. Also messed up to me, Dana Brooke.
Well, that's interesting. That made me think about her. I mean, I think they've been trying with her for long enough. I do think they were giving her a push, but they were still trying to push her, but it really wasn't going over well. And I almost feel like now that I'm looking at these releases, I almost feel like there was a suspicion that they were in jeopardy of being released, and that WWE powers might give them a last push to hopefully maybe show that they were worth keeping. And Endeavor was like, no. Because that's weird otherwise. You brought both these people down to NXT and gave them both pushes, and both of them are just released rent. Like, that's a weird coincidence.
Now, I'll tell you what's interesting for me. Because there was some other news that was released today about WWE and its future. Again, with Dana Brooke, you have a woman that, and I've said this so many times on the show, we're proponents for the women in pro wrestling. The difference between WWE and AEW is that in AEW, you've got a mid-card title called the TBS Championship. Now, I don't necessarily love the name. I don't even love the name of the TNT Championship, but it's a mid-card title because not everybody is going to be the person. Not everybody is going to hold the belt. Mm-hmm. It's just a fact. Right. And that's fine.
But if they would have brought the cruiserweight belt after they ruined the cruiserweight show and it didn't work, why didn't you bring the cruiserweight title back? If you had a cruiserweight, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, like all of them would be having these amazing matches for this cruiserweight title.
Even for the women. Give these people something to fight for. Mm-hmm. Dana Brooke became the 24/7 champion. Now, we all know, let's not pretend. That was one of the ugliest, dumbest titles that has ever existed in the history of pro wrestling. Okay? Facts. I want to throw up every time I see that title design. I am glad that thing got thrown away. Here's the thing. Dana Brooke wore that title with pride. Mm-hmm. Say what you will about Dana Brooke. Say what you will about that title. When she had that title on, you thought she was the champion. She wore it with pride. She defended that thing. God love her for it.
She tried to do everything that they gave her to do to the best of her ability. She gave it her all, for sure.
And we tweeted to her. We said, you pretty much made chicken salad out of chicken.
Yeah.
And did the best you could. And then you come over here to NXT and you're finally getting utilized again. But if you don't give these people something to fight for, what can you do? I refuse to accept, and I can give a little bit of a little pass to AEW for being a young company. A company as old and as storied as WWE, I'm not trying to hear that you do not have the ability creatively to figure out what to do with your talent. Triple H made phone calls after Vince fired a lot of these people the first time.
Right.
Brought them back, and I promise you, when Vince McMahon came back in there, everybody was knocking on Triple H's door like,
what is he doing here?
So,
right.
Are we good? And I guarantee you right now, everybody that got fired is like, gosh, here we go again. Not cool. So, yeah, there are people that were not necessarily utilized on TV a whole heck of a lot. But when you do see talent that was, especially talent that was in a title picture, get cut.
I gotta tell you, Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler, 20-year vet.
Is very surprising. And let me tell you, so one of the things that Dolph did at his stand-up was he addressed the fact that he is a well-paid like lifer. Like that's just what he does. I do know there was a point in time where he wanted to be released to go pursue comedy and they wouldn't let him go. I do know that did happen many years ago. But and I am not necessarily sad for him because I do think this is going to force him to actually follow his dream of being a comedian. He already hit as high as he was going to hit in this world. He would have just been a glorified jobber for the rest of his career. I don't think they would ever give him another push. He did have the one he had on NXT, and that was it. And so I think at this point, he is now going to actually pursue comedy for real, which was his dream and what he wanted to do. And now he will be forced to do his dream, which sometimes is a real blessing for people. You're too comfort, you're going to stay, where you're comfortable. But if he has another dream to pursue it. So I think that was just a shocker for me because he is a 20-year vet. And for us, we would rather see, if you're trying to push somebody, we would rather have you bring out Dolph Ziggler and give us a good match and we know him and we have rapport with him than for you to bring some jabroni from the audience that look like a teenager that, you know what I mean, that we don't care about, a match we don't care about. So I do see value in having people like Dolph Ziggler around. But I, although I'm shocked, I think this will push him to pursue comedy.
I mean, it probably will. And I'm not really sad per se for any of the wrestlers. I know that they will be fine. They will land on their feet.
Be in AEW. I promise you.
There are other promotions, like you said, AEW, whatever
or
the case
Ring
may
of
be.
Honor. I would hope that he would use this opportunity to stack Ring of Honor and maybe bring it to life.
But for me as a fan of these people in WWE, and this is what I was saying about Edge, is I'm a fan of Edge in WWE. I'm a fan of Edge, and I wanted his second go around to be better than it was. However he decides to end his career is his business, so long as he's able to do it on his terms, which he wasn't able to do the first time. And I will support him no matter what. And if that means ending it in AEW, then so be it. But for all these people that were loyal WWE talent employees to be summarily dismissed like this, it kind of sucks. With Hit Row, we were excited when Hit Row was called back after getting fired. The fact that I know some people say B flat, flop Dolla, whatever the case may be, we all know the run that they had coming back here wasn't stellar. Again, I don't want to say it was their fault. Mm-hmm. They're basically told to do something and they just do it, and things don't necessarily go to plan.
Yeah.
But I mean,
well, this is probably just a first round. Right?
Well, it's definitely the first round. I mean, because also, and here's the thing that really gets, it kind of chaps my hide, right? Mm-hmm. WWE has the nerve to announce big plans for Smackdown. Smackdown in 2024 will be moving to the USA Network. Mm-hmm. NXT and Raw, which currently airs on the USA Network, will be airing through September 2024. What happens after that is anybody's guess. There's even talk about Monday Night Raw possibly not being on Monday night, which I take great exception to.
I'm sorry, they do realize it's called Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw. That's literally
you cannot have
how
Monday
the show
Night Raw
started.
On a different month, on a different day.
Even if it's on a different network, which it has been in the past.
That's fine, but it can't be a different day.
Monday Night Raw needs to continue on Monday nights. I'm fine with any of these shows going to a different network, but you're saying here's a big money deal. You also have a big money deal with WWE's Elimination Chamber going to Australia, down under. And Emma had actually tweeted excited. And then she tweeted, oops, my bad, just got fired. Never mind. I guess I'll be going as a fan. That sucks. It sucks because you announce these big boss moves. You see Vince and Triple H and whatnot at the stock exchange. Big things are happening, as you hear all the time. Big things popping, little things stopping, as MVP likes to say. And then all of a sudden, by the way, when are we going? No. We aren't going anywhere. You going down there to the unemployment line,
Mm.
maybe Tony Khan can give you a little something on AEW Dark. But you ain't working here. That sucks. That sucks. And it sucks that this is only the beginning. You bring in Nia Jax. After a 4-year absence, finally bring in The Rock. There was a video, I believe, of Orton walking into the WWE Performance Center. He's telling everybody to kind of keep it quiet. Clearly, my man is about to come back. So you got the feria, you got the cash, you got the scratch. You just don't want to pass it around. You don't want to pass it around to creative and give these people something to do.
Did you say Elias?
Who wants to walk with Elias?
I don't see him on this thing. Did you say Elias?
Elias. He's in there.
He is.
He is in there.
So as far as Elias, okay, well, first of all, it does suck that they brought her back, couldn't figure it out, and released her again. But she still is a female who could come out and fight to make someone look good, like how Rhea Ripley should be fighting people all the time and different people. But Elias and Rick Boogs, see, that's along with the lines with the Dolph Ziggler thing too, because and Shelton Benjamin, these are all guys who could come out and give a good show and give a good match and elevate someone you're trying to push. And are we going to start just getting day jobbers?
Shelton Benjamin, also 20-year plus vet.
Right. And everybody loves Elias. Even if you only bring him out here and there, I can't
Elias played his younger brother, Ezekiel.
He's a good character. And no, he's not going to be a top dog, but he's a good character.
Now, Elias is actually on a different walk. He's on a different path right now. He posted pictures of himself overseas, getting baptized. Like, he's on a different journey.
I knew that from his music, yeah.
So
he'll be okay.
His response was good. Even Shelton Benjamin's response was, I want to thank WWE. I want to thank, like, it's nice to see somebody, and I get it, you take the high road. If I was somebody that was hired, higher than fired,
you would not
I promise you.
Y'all would be talking about how disappointed you are in his response. I promise you.
Anytime I see that motherfucker, there'll be some misunderstanding. Gonna be some furniture moving up in this mother. You understand me? You think CM Punk calls a scene with a pipe bomb?
Okay, let's get to the super chat.
Judy Caudillo.
Hey, Judy Caudillo.
I think you're the first super chat of the night, starting the night off. Thank you very much.
Judy, is she new?
I think so. If you are, welcome.
Welcome.
There's a thing that I like to do with the super chats because there's a show on Netflix called The Circle that we enjoy, and I like the way they say things and do things. So when it's a super chat, I go circle message.
But there's not a message.
There's not a message.
It's just a donation.
No. There's no message. You just did a super chat just because. So circle message. Thank you, Judy, for that super chat.
Much love, boo.
We also have Sean's View Entertainment. Respect, guys. Respect you too.
Okay.
Thank you very much. DJ Walker with a super chat. Yes, sir.
DJ.
Circle message. Ali has a match for No Mercy. Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense. He's booked for No Mercy.
The graphic is up.
Yeah.
Him, Dirty Dom, North American title. He was even talking about how it doesn't make sense that he wins a match and yet the loser is in front of him as number one. Like, they did Ali dirty.
They did him dirty. But AEW, he's an AEWer. He is.
I mean, it's possible. Even Dolph Ziggler.
And for me,
I can see
I would rather have you be a top dude, one of the top dudes that people are going crazy for at AEW, than a jobber that barely is being used over here. If you still want to do it, there's other options. That's the thing about Tony Khan with these other shows, is that at least we don't have to never see them again or try to look on Impact and hope maybe we catch somebody. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to see these people.
No, I have no doubt that we're not going to see them. For me, it's not a question. I mean, I will miss them because we watch the WWE programming week after week, as we do with AEW. AEW has a bloated roster.
It does.
Now, TK has deep pockets.
But if he could figure out how to do Ring of Honor right, and Ring of Honor could be elevated
if he can,
to the same level of the other shows, you could really do something. And with all of these releases, you really could do something over there to get some more attention.
Well, I hope they would, because I mean, we were watching Dynamite. I think we had 3 title changes. 2 of them were Ring of Honor titles.
Actually, because so many Ring of Honor titles changed, I was like, is he like going to stop promoting Ring of Honor?
I mean, it was
Why
interesting.
are you taking everybody's belts away? So he was combining a lot of titles. So I don't know what that meant either.
I think with the pandemic, one thing that we've seen is when there is a need, there is opportunity. There are things that happen. I'm hoping that somewhere along the line, somebody goes, okay, let's try to figure out what we can do with all this talent. I don't necessarily want to see a swath of just a tidal wave of more WWE superstars going into AEW. I'm just concerned if TK cannot spread that peanut butter a little evenly across the shows. You know what I mean? But all I'm saying is it's upsetting. And I've said this term, and I'm going to be a little vulgar. Don't piss on my shoes and tell me that it's raining. You dig what I'm saying? Because McMahon also had the nerve to say that WWE was stagnant, that WWE had plateaued. That was the reason for this
Mentiroso. Mentiroso. No estoy contando contigo. He completely was pissed off that it was doing better under Triple H, and he could not take it. His old man sat there and went, no, I can ruin my own
twirl this
show.
mustache.
I'm gonna betray my family and get everybody fired and sell the company. That's what happened. He didn't care about it. If it was stagnant, he wouldn't care. It was stagnant under him. It was flourishing under Triple H. Now, it did start to plateau a little under Triple H. He did go up, and then like he couldn't maintain it. But who can maintain that high all the time? But it was still way better.
It takes time. It was doing fine. If there was no controversy with him and what was going on with all this payment hush money stuff, I promise you, folks, I promise you, there would never have been a situation where Vince tweeted, time to retire, 77 years old, time to go. He would never have retired. There would never been a need for him to sell the company. It just wouldn't have happened. But here we are. His ego, his narcissism couldn't allow the company that he built see it go up, because I think he honestly wanted to see it go down. He positioned himself in a position higher than when he left, knocked people off the board. I'm the soul, I'm the alpha and the omega. Nothing happens, nothing's getting done without me. And this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm deepening my pockets and I'm screwing everybody else. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, you're number one, and I'm not using the middle. I'm using the middle finger to do it. That's what he did. So do not tell us everything is good, Triple H, everything is fine, he's not touching creative. Bull squat. Do not say it is raining outside when I clearly see you over here pissing all over my shoe, Vince McMahon. And then you got the nerve to kick people out. It's infuriating to me. And that, for me, is the biggest kick in the teeth with these releases, is that you are making all of these gigantic, big money moves.
Which includes firing people most of the time.
And then you go ahead and you tell everybody, not only to the back of the line, you're just not even in the line no more.
Hey, J.R. Dugan. Did we say hi to Tyrell Breed?
What up, Tyrell?
Hey, Tyrell.
You are in the unemployment line, and that just sucks. So
hey, Tony Khan.
Tony Khan's in here? Tony Khan! And we met Tony Khan, and I got to tell you, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Yeah, he fit well in Ring of Honor. Jade Cargill's in WWE.
Tony Kananme Kuran. Hey, Arcel World.
Good to see you, buddy. I know we got a few more super chats that I want to try to get to. But we're going to do things a little different today. We're going to do things a little different today. We're going to have some honorable mentions, because I know a lot of people feel a type of way about this. And I know some people are like, well, some of the names didn't surprise me. A lot of the lower names in NXT.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know why you didn't just release people at the end of their contract, but obviously, usually with a merger, you have stuff like that happen. And had they not just trying to give Dana Brooke that little push, I would have. But I'm not very surprised about her. Well, no one's surprised about Aaliyah. And Top Dollar became such a joke that that was
Well,
not
it's kind of a
surprising to me
shame.
either. But I'm sad about Elias, but he's in a place where it's fine. It doesn't matter. Rick Boogs makes me sad. I really like Rick Boogs.
Rick Boogs and
I really
Shinsuke
do.
was
It was a thing.
gold.
It was a gold. It was a thing. And I just liked him. And I just felt like he was big and he had that look and he was talented and they just didn't know what to do with him. And so I hope that he finds somewhere that can really see him for what he's worth, because I think that he's a waste of talent anyway there.
But I mean, let's look at Emma, Tennille Dashwood. This is somebody,
Mhm.
I never liked the whole thing that she
No,
would
that was
do, didn't
stupid.
like that. But a perfect example of somebody that got fired, got rehired,
I just got fired again.
and just got fired again. Do you know how embarrassing that is?
Just like Top Dollar.
You know how embarrassing that is? You really come back to a company that fired you and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get somewhere now. Unfortunately, she didn't. Unfortunately, they didn't utilize her. Her man, Riddick, changed his whole character from Madcap. We thought he's going to be somewhere. Things didn't work out with him and Corbin. Bring Corbin to NXT. Corbin's now mixing it up.
Mhm. I wouldn't have been that surprised if they would have released Corbin if they're going to release Dolph.
Everybody, nobody is safe, because we said this before. There were people that got released before
So
that
wait a
we
minute.
always thought would never be
So
fired.
Madcap wasn't released?
Oh, no, yeah,
Yes, he was, right? Was he?
yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
he
I'm
was, okay.
saying.
Um,
Sophie Duffy with a super chat right here. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sophie Dopey.
Circle message. SmackDown moving to USA Network in October 2024, and I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it too. So here's the thing: when it first debuted on Fox, it was such a big deal. It's Fox. It's just, you know what I mean? You think it's going to be all this, but here's the reality: we're in the day of cable. We're in the day of Netflix, of smart TVs. It does not matter if you are on channel 11, if you're on channel 39. It doesn't matter. Cable is cable. Everybody has it. Nobody needs like the main first 13 channels or anything like that. Those days are long gone. So in USA, it's always been a staple within one of the shows. I mean, even if it was Raw, whatever, So
I think it'd be good to be on a cable network, because considering what happened with The Rock and the chant, this side will chant and this side will chant.
Yeah, you might as well.
I don't think
USA.
Fox is trying to. I'm looking at it because we finally watched SmackDown back. The filter they put on there was
awful.
So bizarre.
So bizarre.
It would have been better if they just did the bleep like they did on YouTube. So I'm fine with it, but this is part of what I'm talking about, is that you are now saying we are making big moves and you people are not worthy of coming along with. And it sucks. You finally have a show in somebody's home country and you're like, yeah, you're fired. Of course McMahon had a hand in it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he did. Ari doesn't know these people well enough to know who to fire and who not to. He's leaning on McMahon. He's leaning on Triple H. I don't know how these dudes sleep at night, quite frankly.
Probably next to a young woman. So I want to give a shout out to this person, but I don't know how to say this name. Melly Metzel. Melly Metzel. Metal. Melly Metal. Melly Melto.
Yes, I see it.
I don't know, but
Good to
hi
see
and
you.
welcome, Melly. I'm just gonna call you Melly. Melim.
They announced it like hires before the firing happened. That's what I'm saying.
What up, Larry Burns?
That's what I'm saying. You couldn't even wait a day to announce the big things. Maybe bring some. It's sort of like, okay, Sophie Dopey, I think you know what I'm talking. I'm not going to get on a whole rant, but you know the challenge. You know what happens at the end of the challenge. What they were doing. You have basically the council. You come across a table. You talk to those that won. And you're like, okay, state your case. Why should we save you? Nothing like that. You know you have Mercedes Moné. You know you got Trinity like got out at a good time.
Got out.
But this is what they're saying. They're not treating you right.
Mm.
So once again, I find myself in a position to say, is WWE the place to be? Yes, we have a merger. Yes, there are some things going on, but clearly it's the loyalty. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty.
You need to get to those other super chats.
Okay, it's the loyalty that I question.
But you got to stop acting like companies are loyal to people, because that's a delusion that we've wanted to have for a long time. Bret Hart made it very clear many years ago. They are not loyal to anybody. They're loyal to their paycheck. They are loyal to people who make them money. And the minute they're done with you, they'll take you out back and shoot you like a horse with a bad leg. So let's not get caught up in the delusion that WWE is loyal to anybody. It's about money and who makes them money and what's going to work in the long run. What I don't want to see is them starting to use nameless jobbers from the local cities in lieu of people like Madcap and Elias and Benjamin and Dolph Ziggler and people that we know who we want to see match, who could put on a good fight. And so I just think I'm worried that we're going to just start seeing these stupid, scrawny, no-name. I don't know.
Well, thank you, Judy. I appreciate the fact that you love listening to us, and we are doing the best we can for you and everybody else in here, because I feel a type of way. Early today when I saw all this, I was getting really, really annoyed, and I was getting sick to my stomach. I'm like, I need a Xanax. I need a stiff drink. I need some brandy.
So you passing out, it had to do with the release?
I think it might have, because I just don't know what else is on the horizon. You just sitting here, you're just like this.
I'm gonna need you to care a little less about WWE if you passing out. Just a little, just a little.
All I'm saying is, I don't know what's next. I don't know what big names are coming up next.
No,
that's my concern. We got a super chat right here by Three Digglets. What's going on, Three Digglets? Yes, indeed. Circle message. My dream team of Tegan Knox, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Rodriguez will not happen for now.
Will not.
Yeah, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if she was on the list. I don't know. I made it on the Tegan Knox. She was also released. If I'm not mistaken, I read something about that. Can you all confirm if Tegan Knox
confirm or deny
was also released? Because I might have to add that to the ticker. I think I read that earlier. Vince never learns. Of course, Vince doesn't care. But anybody except Vince. That's the reality. Everything he did was fully orchestrated. Like, he literally is the emperor. He might as well come down like he did in the last sequel, be on that arm, and just, I am all the Sith. That is Vince Kennedy McMahon.
What a rolling bird.
All right.
I don't feel like I said hi to you.
What's up, rolling? Three Doug super chat right here. Circle message. I'm going to kill my creation. I'm going to inject it with a lethal dose of poison with the NWO. I'm going to do it. By God. That's what he did.
The by God should be a JR. By God, by God. Three Digglets, I always love your super chats, dude.
Yeah, he is going to kill his creation. He's going to reimagine his creation. And guess what? He's going to stay on board. Anybody that crosses me, you're screwed. You don't like it? There's the door. It just sucks. And it also sucks because when you're a kid, you go to a wrestling show. Like, I think there was a picture of Austin Theory when he was 13 at a WrestleMania, and now he's been in the ring with the likes of a John Cena, a Rock. You know what I mean? Like, some big, big names. You just have this dream. You finally get a chance to live it out. It's like singers who say, I just want to sing. And then you get involved in the industry and you see the business side of it. And that is an ugly side. where you're just product to be used. And that's a shame. These are people that are just wanting to wrestle, take care of their family, and bring us entertainment week after week.
Yeah.
And then one more again, you go and do stuff like this, and it hurts my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, they'll all be fine.
Mm-hmm.
They'll all be fine. But still, they got us through a dark time with COVID. It was tough, man. Y'all remember watching in the Thunderdome? That crap was not easy. Seeing these wrestlers wrestle in a no audience arena, the acoustics are a little bit different.
Right.
But they did it. Mickey James getting her wrestling tie in a plastic bag. King of Hueco Mundo.
Hueco.
You don't spoke facts on that. Treated her like street booty.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know that person,
Carano,
I think was his name. He got fired
over that. Yeah, but still, you thought you could do it. She just happened to let the world know. That's all.
So what is going to happen with B-Fab? What is going on with Ashanti? What is going to happen with Hit Row? There is no more Hit Row. I don't know why he doesn't get rid of Hit Row altogether. I don't know what they're finna do.
And you're not about to give her a push. She's next.
And I know she's trying. I saw her mixing it up in the ring.
No, we could go ahead and predict the next round. She'll be in it. Omos will be in it. MVP will be in it. At this rate, on what they're doing, this is what I say. They'll all be in it.
Might be Cedric.
I was surprised that Cedric wasn't on there. They're not doing nothing with Cedric.
Might be some other names in NXT. You know what? I hate to say it.
Hopefully
they're not doing much with Mi Chin.
Right. They probably might just release her again.
The only time you see Jai Lee is on Instagram.
Yep. I mean, at this point, if they're releasing these names, we might see all of them. I have a feeling we'll be live again tomorrow night, y'all.
Oh, we're gonna be coming back. We're gonna be coming back. Super chat right here. Circle message. By the way, these releases ain't over yet.
Oh,
you'll see.
All day.
Hashtag facts. No,
Hashtag
facts. This is why we're gonna have to go live. Another reason why I'm kind of glad we waited, because there were some more names that came out when we first saw it. I'm just like, oh man. I don't want to do this again, y'all. I don't want to do this again. Getting rid of names like Keith Lee.
Movie Queen said Corbin has to go. I don't think you're wrong at this point. They gave him a hard push at NXT as well, but he's probably making a little too much. At this point, they would rather raise up people from NXT and pay them less, because that's how businesses work, and be like, I don't want to keep paying you what I'm paying you to be a jobber. It's not working. They've reinvented Corbin like 10 times.
But see, what I also don't want to see, because I know they got a new class of people that came in, don't have a new class of people coming in. This is one of the reasons why wrestlers don't like going on the shelf when they're injured, because they don't want somebody taking their spot. When you're not in TV, if you're out of sight, out of mind. So nobody likes being out of the limelight. I think that's part of the reason why Natalya is doing everything she possibly can to stay in that limelight. I believe it was Becky Lynch who called her out before they had that match that she lost, which was an okay match. It wasn't awful, but Natalya's doing everything she can to stay relevant, especially now that once again, the axe is going down.
Yeah, she probably get released too, actually.
Imagine hearing that name.
I wouldn't be, I'd be surprised, but I don't know. At this point,
nobody is safe.
Nobody is safe.
The youngsters in NXT to the OG vets.
Especially if they're bringing moves like bringing in Jade Cargill, they paying for her. So if they're bringing in Nia Jax and Jade and they got to pay for them, they going to do it with other people's salaries.
The Rock ain't cheap.
Oh, The Rock's not cheap. He didn't do that for free out of the kindness of his heart.
Heck no. It took him 4 years to come over here. 4 years and a whole merger.
Yeah.
You couldn't give a video package, but you finally showed up. And you got John Cena in here again with the actor strike. You know, everybody's like, hey, that film I got is on hold.
Cena's
so
not cheap. None of them are cheap.
I'm gonna need y'all
That's
to
an expensive show.
come out the pocket on this. JR Dugan, what's going on? Super chat. Circle message. With all this bad news, I also heard rumors that Roman hurt his back at SummerSlam against Jay and won't be back until late October.
I also heard that he was injured, but I only heard it once and I didn't see like anything backing it up. So I wasn't sure. If anybody else is actually like, yeah, I have a reliable source say that, let me know.
Well, let me be honest with you. My back is a hot mess right now. My neck is a hot mess. I was in an auto accident a little while back. I go to physical therapy 3 times a week. Mornings are tough for me. Mornings are tough for anybody that's had a bad back, a debilitating back. There are some times I can't even get out. I can't even walk, can't even stand up straight. So having a bad back sucks. It sucks. We saw how long Orton was out. The fact that he's back up and walking and coming into the performance center is a good sign. And I hope that he does not retweak or re-injure anything. What sucks is that you now have a situation, the timing is a little off for me. And correct me if I'm mistaken, but you finally have The Rock show up after all this time. No involvement whatsoever in the Bloodline story at all, which we all assumed was going to be the case, that he was in fact going to step to Roman or step to the Usos, something. Nothing happened. Now you got Roman over here possibly not showing up until sometime in October. Is The Rock showing up next week? Is The Rock going to show up again when Roman shows up? What exactly is supposed to happen here? Because one thing we do see, the eyes are more so on them when Roman shows up. That these guys, Paul and Jimmy and Solo, can only carry the bag but so long. So we will see. JR, I appreciate that super chat. Thank you, buddy. Scott and Shotzi have their own show on YouTube last Wednesday. You know what? You know what? I know Shotzi's getting a little bit of a push. And I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it.
I don't know.
She might be on the chopping block, along with her hair. I am just really curious to see who else is getting the cut. Because the thing about pro wrestling is that it's
they gonna get cut. I ain't seen them.
They're around. They ain't doing much.
Nah, they're getting cut.
They ain't doing much
all day.
You think that's it for them?
They done.
Cool off with the releases. They need to cool off with the releases. They should have released McMahon. When is McMahon going to be released? When he shuffles loose the mortal coil. Okay?
Thank you,
when
Larry
McMahon
Burns.
is 6 feet under.
Larry Burns said Fightful Select is reporting he's injured. I usually they're pretty accurate. I think there was only one time that they might have said something and they had to retract it that I think about. But I think for the most part, Fightful Select pretty much does verify their stuff before they report something.
Yeah. Anthony, what's going to happen with Ashanti and B-Fab? One thing I remember Stone Cold said is you gotta pick your opportunity. And I think more than anything, they need to get eyes on themselves and they need to do something. At this point, everybody needs to do. Nobody should play it safe unless people just don't care. Unless people are like, you know what? Release me from this hell. I liked it under Triple H and Stephanie. I'm not feeling this. So at this point, I'm just waiting to open my locker and see that pink slip just hanging.
Yeah. John Brooks, Liv is out injured, but more so she's out on family leave because Bray Wyatt was her brother-in-law. So I believe that maybe they would revamp her. And I really pray, I still hope and pray that they are going to bring Bo Dallas and they're going to do something. They're going to bring back, they're going to keep Braun and they're going to bring back.
Okay, Tegan Knox was not released.
What's his name?
Braun Strowman?
No, Braun Strowman, the other Wyatt. That was there.
Rowan.
Rowan. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't think of his name. I'm hoping they see the value in honoring Bray by bringing back his brother Bo and putting them together, and then even having Liv be a part of that. And I really still, when Alexa has that baby and comes back, I really want her and Liv to do these evil twins. I think they'd be so creepy. But I really hope that they could figure out how to utilize that and honor Bray through that, and I think that would be an amazing faction. So I'm still holding on hope that they are
I think it'd be an amazing
touch
faction,
Braun.
but I wouldn't be surprised if they fired her.
Not while she's out injured on family leave.
It's happened.
Can you imagine they fire her while she's injured, while mourning her brother-in-law's death, and now
Easier to fire somebody that's not in the locker room.
No, it's just no.
Liv just opens up her email, sees that inbox, priority messages, WWE Human Resources. Oh, here we go. Bo. I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, Pretty Richie, welcome. Better late than never, baby.
I wouldn't be surprised. Sophie Dophie, you got a super chat right here. Vince is like Thanos.
Just snapped his fingers.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
I have a Thanos glove, but it's at work.
She does. No, he is. He is. And Zay, I like your comment, because I remember when the whole sale was going on, there was talk about The Rock maybe buying it and whatnot. I'm sure anything is possible. He probably would have ran things much different.
Oh gosh, I think it would have been beautiful. It would have been beautiful. I do. I
really,
his legacy.
I feel for these people, man. I really do.
I mean, these shows are just about to look different. This is a lot of releases, and there's more to come. Now I just don't know what is these new shows?
Hey, Angel Mysterio fan 619, we acknowledge you too. No, not only are these shows going to look different, not just because of the releases, but also because now shows are moving networks. They'll probably change the overall vibe and the theme and whatnot. But also now there's a new parent company.
Right.
Maybe they want a little more edge. Maybe they want somebody that's going to come in here and be get like Booker T, get a little dirt on them.
Literal edge, or you mean edgy?
I got to go edgy. I'm not going to go so far as say Attitude Era, but I mean, The Rock certainly brought it back.
Hey, Cliffy G, welcome. Yeah, we did talk about that, about Emma tweeting about that, and they're like, oops.
They coming for Cedric to be. I mean, they might. They might. Jai Lee said she's waiting for her best pal, Kari, coming back in November. Nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe. Especially somebody that hasn't been on TV.
The show in Australia, that doesn't matter. Mustafa was waiting for Elimination Chamber.
Okay, if you have not been on TV in quite some time and you're healthy, you're not safe. We've all been waiting for Aaliyah to come back. Her Twitter handle is Aaliyah317 because of the win she got over Natalia.
What was the name of the pay-per-view? Mercy?
What?
No Mercy.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
You know? So, I mean, it's just Corbin versus Breaker, NXT, No Mercy. So, who knows? And that's the thing. You have a pay-per-view match. Well, not necessarily a pay-per-view, but you have a match. It's a title picture. So, this is what I'm saying by nobody is safe. You literally have somebody in a title picture with somebody else and you still fired them.
George Lewis said Aaliyah's fine. She's been doing equestrian competitions. And Tony said bring back Saturday night's main event. I think there's talk of that.
Yeah, so Saturday night's main event, and that's what our Saturday night's live event is based off of. I used to love Saturday night's main event because it was an event. It was just that. It was like you were going to see some big matches. Other than it wasn't just a jobber thing. You would see real people against real people. So yeah, this is another thing. They're bringing back at least 4 Saturday night's main events on NBC. Exciting stuff. It looks like the Peacock thing is still going down. Like, this is what I'm saying. You're talking about big money moves.
Yeah.
You're talking about we're making some big boss moves, stomping with the big dogs.
Including stomping on our employees.
And that's what it is. And it's fine. You want to bring people back. Batista retired. But this talks. Now that Hollywood done shut down, people got time on their hands. The Rock didn't have no time on his hands.
Batista wouldn't come back.
He's got time on his hands.
Batista wouldn't come back because he expected his welcome to be warmer last time, and his feelings was hurt. He was butthurt.
I feel you.
And he over here doing Mortal Kombat commercials. He ain't coming back over here to see if people
everything is shut down.
I know.
And we don't know how long the writer's
Commercials
strike
aren't shut
has
down.
been going on if it's non-union. But if it's union,
No,
if it
commercials have. I found that out the other day that it is affecting the commercial writers, but you still can do commercials.
union actors and writers are not able to do anything. If there's a commercial that is a SAG commercial, you cannot work.
Okay, let me make a correction. The lady that I met's husband is a writer, but they're for anime. They're like anime style commercials, so they're exempt, even though they are.
Batista is in the SAG
Got
after
you.
union.
All right, whatever.
He
Still,
cannot
I don't think he would
work.
come back. Hey, friendly human.
Friendly human, how are you? Asuka might be retiring in the future. You know what? I think she should go back to Japan. I think she should get back to her strong style. They're not using Asuka like they're supposed to. Asuka was a badass in NXT. Now you got a whole character change, and I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know what she's doing, and apparently Damage Control are the only women that can be utilized on a regular basis on SmackDown, aside from Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca's taking a break. Come on, man. But we watch NXT, and guess what we saw on there? Huh? Like I always say, women beginning, middle, end.
Yeah.
Backstage segments, film segments.
Mm-hmm.
2 hours that they can figure it out. If I were Carmella, I wouldn't come back unless it's
I think Carmella
baby
would have got released if she wasn't pregnant. I have no doubt. Nobody was feeling Carmella last time we seen her live. Nobody reacted to her. It was crickets. And I know they tried to give her another push, and Reggie went further than she did. And at the end of the day, I think that if she wasn't pregnant, she would have been released. Personally.
I mean, it would be kind of it would be wild. But I can't put anything past anybody. But it would be wild if in the next round of releases we do see Carmella's name, but not Corey Graves' name. That would be crazy.
I don't know that you can't fire a pregnant person while they're out, and nor can you fire somebody while they're on disability. You have to wait till they come back. But they're not in any union, so I don't know. I don't know, man.
That would be, it would be ruthless. Ravishing Pretty Richie with a super chat. What's going on, Pretty Richie? Thank you so much. Circle message. So sorry I'm late, y'all. Didn't know you were live. Love you guys. Sad day today. It's all right. We were not seeing the notifications when the live went out either. So there might be a setting that might need to be changed. But we appreciate you guys being in here. Make sure you hit that like button, smash it, so we can get out here and keep doing our thing.
Smash it, baby, smash it.
We will be back with another live. I hope it's not going to be another round of releases. I hope it's just something positive.
It's gonna be another round of
releases. But it hurts my heart, man. Larry Burns, wondering why they released some of the big names. Still, people said in money, dang, this $1.4 billion deal with USA. Say it with me.
Yeah, but there's still
$1.4 billion.
But there's still greed. You bought a company that's making money, you want to make more money, and you're going to instantly try to make whatever changes that's going to bring more profit to you. And so getting rid of people who you're like, nah, y'all aren't worth that. You know what I mean? You're not worth that. We're not paying all that.
But here's what I've said. I've said this to her before. Okay, the company that she works for, and I'm calling them out. Yeah, I'm calling you out. So they don't watch the show, so I'm calling you out, huh? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, huh? The big bosses over here, they got them big checks, got the houses, got the yachts, huh? Got the cars, everything big. You have an employee, and your company would not function without the employee. The employee's like, look, I got kids, baby. I got a car note. Huh? Son got shot. I ain't got time for this. But I need me a little bit of a raise. Can I get $1 raise? And they're like, I can't do it. Gonna break the bank. Can't do it. $1 raise. Maybe I can give you 15 cents on the dollar.
While they drive $100,000 cars.
$100,000 cars. Coming in, you see that new in Los Angeles, they got the paper plate. You know it's a brand new car. Coming in the brand new car. Huh? Coming in that brand new Beamer. Oh, snap. Oh, yeah, this is my new toy. You calling it a toy?
But that's why I'm okay. I'm happy. My whole hope is that each one of these people are able to now go and do what they want to do, what's going to make them happy. Because you are being appreciated where you were. And the people who did appreciate you or act like they did up until now sold the company out for money because they only really cared about themselves. And at this point, it's now your time to be in charge of you, in charge of your future, seeking what you want to do next. If you want to go to AEW, if you want to still pursue wrestling as somewhere else, because now you're coming from WWE, everybody's going to want to talk to you. Or if you had something else, like the equestrian thing, like the comedian thing, like you know, Elias is gone on his spiritual journey. If you had your thing and this was just something that was in your way anyway, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that when stuff like this happens, there's always like, oh, that like there's a moment where you have no choice but to change your life. But most of us need that moment where we decide to change our lives, right? And if me and you could choose to just work for other people for the rest of our lives and line their pockets and scrape by, but we decide to put all of our effort into something we love, getting together with a community that we care about, and trying to do this for a living so that we could be happy and we could be our own bosses. It's a lot of work, but everybody has to make that decision for themselves. So I'm hoping this will.
No, I'm not saying that. My point and what I was trying to say is the pissing on my shoe telling me it's raining. You cannot tell me you can't afford it.
Oh yeah, no.
You cannot tell me we don't have the money. But that's what I'm saying. This is the statement that you put out. Mm-hmm. You telling me that I'm not worth an extra $1 an hour,
right,
to be over here 40 plus hours a week, but then you show up in a brand new 6-figure car. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, mm-hmm. You're spitting in my face, and kind of like MJF, I believe, spit in the face.
Right. We're getting compliments on the shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Thank y'all. Our designer designed this for us. Yeah.
I gotta disagree with you, homeboy.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm trying to say here. Ravishing Pretty Richie, I appreciate you. Circle message. This might sound sad, but it's bittersweet for me to see Dolph leave. He's been in the system so long, he needs this low key.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier before he got in, was that he wanted to leave to pursue comedy full time. Like maybe in 2016, 17, it was a while ago. I just remember, no, maybe not even, maybe even later, maybe like 2019 or something. And they wouldn't let him go, just like Ali. But, I feel like he reached everything he was going to reach here. And he really should pursue his dream and go do comedy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he was surprised as hell to get that phone call. But I hope that he turns it around. And
well, especially if you have survived numerous rounds of firings,
right,
and have been here as long as you have, you're probably thinking you're the Teflon Don, mm-hmm. and it's not going to be me.
Oh yeah, first of all, we've been married 20 years. You know what, babe? I don't know. Let's just call it quit. After 20 years, you're gonna be like, wait, what? I mean,
well. After 18, I'll tell you what happened. But that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that there are some people like Shelton who've been here just as long.
Oh, good night, Roland Bird. Thanks
good night, Roland Bird. Appreciate you.
We're
and they did
anyway.
The Hurt Business wrong. Unceremoniously stopped that. Took off the belts. Broke them all up.
Mm-hmm. But now they're about to put those belts right back on Bobby and the Street Profits. The almighty profit.
They finna do something. But I tell you, some other big names about to get cut. I promise you, it's a question of who. Mm-hmm. It's a question of who.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's weird. I know, and this is the thing. I with Bianca Belair, it's fine if you want to take time off. This might now be a little wake-up call to be like, hey, I'll be on SmackDown next week.
Is Pete Dunne going to get fired too? Because you know what? Now I'm looking for the pattern. So they tried to give Dana a push. They were giving Mustafa a push. They're just brought Pete Dunne down to NXT to compete for an NXT Cup, which I thought was like a really bad sign. So I wonder if they do have a foresight of who's on there and they want to look like they're giving them a push.
It's weird to see him back in NXT, still using the name Butch, not having the Brawling Brutes with him. He belongs there personally. I don't think they should bring him back to the main roster. I think they should keep him on NXT, and I think they should change his name back. That's what I think. And no, Arcel World, they're not just releasing people that they don't use. Mustafa Ali was in a title picture with Dirty Dom.
Right.
You just saw Dana Brooke swinging up a storm.
Now he won't be there.
But somebody else that wasn't being used, Dolph Ziggler, they brought him back down to NXT to fight with Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews was doing a thing. Apollo Crews gets called back up. You seen Apollo?
And is Apollo about to be one of these releases?
Apollo! It sucks.
Yes, Alex King. Yes, absolutely. What did Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae come back for this? You brought in Indy Hartwell up and for this just to get released. Absolutely. I mean, if they release Indy Hartwell, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry on camera.
Today marks 141 days of the writer's strike. This is what I'm talking about. And they try to go back to talk with the studios. Didn't happen. Okay, I'm part of the SAG-AFTRA Guild. We've been on strike for a minute too. People got time on their hands now. You know, and it just sucks. No, AEW can't sign everybody, and they're not going to sign everybody. And we wouldn't want them to sign everybody because you got to make room for the people you got. I don't want to see people in there just to see them. I want to see people in there doing something. Don't waste anybody's time. That's all I'm saying. I want to see these people perform. As good as Orton is, and as long as he's been wrestling, he's a little rusty.
Are they going to let Orton and Big E go?
I'm saying he just showed up at the Performance Center. You can't just show up on a Raw and start getting into it when you were out of action for this long.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. At this point, there's some people I almost wish they would let go. If you're not going to use them, then lose them. That's how I feel about that. 3 Dig Super Chat right here. Thank you. 3 Diglets. Circle. Message. The only way I see Bray's creative ideas being built on is if Uncle Howdy appears on the screen of the Firefly Funhouse and gives hints of La Fiend looking for a host to take over. La Fiend would be like Venom. I wouldn't be mad at that.
I wouldn't be mad at that. And it's funny because they wouldn't be able to pull it off if Bo Dallas wasn't his brother and they were so close. But Bo Dallas is an amazing wrestler and he's an amazing talent and they were very close. And Bray would want that. He would want Bo to carry that on.
He would.
And everybody would you know, and to Rowan and Braun back with, I mean, I know they're not a part of that, so it would have to be revamped in some way. But I just hope they figure that out.
Hey, man, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You got Carmella out. You have Alexa Bliss out. Bring them back. The one that you want to save WWE, Milfomania, and the Baby Bowl brother. That's going to be a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be some merch.
Not.
That's going to be some merch.
College Slam said Big E was just released an hour ago. For real?
Can anybody else confirm this?
Hold on. I need to look that up.
We will look that up. Big E. Kind of late to be releasing some people right now.
All right.
If they're releasing people in the middle of the night, that kind of sucks. I don't know. I doubt that. Let me see. Yeah, so we see, okay, so Tegan Knox for sure is still in it for now. Dexter's in catering. He's probably going to be next, which hurts my heart.
It hurts my heart too.
You know, I hate to see people who get called up and you're thinking this is it. Because again, these are people that really thought they had reached the pinnacle and just want to be used and show their skill set and not be treated like street booty. What are they going to be put B-Fab, Ashanti, Bobby? Yeah, well, I don't think that's going to happen. Internet is a bit of a cesspool.
No, it does not say that he was let go. The last story about him is that he tweeted a sad goodbye to Zolf. to Dolph. So no, that does not seem to be accurate, my friend. Oh, he's trolling.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Wow.
Don't troll. We ain't got time for that. 548490. No, he showed respect to Dolph on being fired. Yeah. He doesn't anticipate any more releases tomorrow. Okay, well, that's good. So if everything is kind of like just settled for the moment, then hopefully our next live will be a little more cheerful.
Yeah.
I feel you. Again, she made a 20% title look at mid-card title. That's what I'm saying, friendly human. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Give these people something to fight for. Give the women something to fight for. But what did you end up doing? You took away the NXT tag team titles for the women. The women have no mid-card title. You've got these tag teams with no tag team name. It's a shame, is what it is, that they're not being treated. It's 2023.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys coming in here and talking to us about this. And if there are more releases tomorrow, I will do my best to be off social media so that I will hear them live. I prefer to get the news with you guys. Well, you guys usually know, but I like to share my genuine reaction.
I gotta do the dirty work. Basically, I gotta put it all together. I gotta look at it.
This is my dirty A.
She wrote the dirty A right there.
Oh, I should write an A right here. I'm gonna start writing an A for you. All right, I'll do it.
So I mean, that's it for now. It kind of sucks. Again, these people will be fine. I know that they'll land on their feet if they stay in pro wrestling. If they don't stay in pro wrestling, everybody that got chopped still have plenty more left in the tank. Right now, I know they're sitting at home, talking with their families, deciding what their next move is going to be. For us as fans of pro wrestling, we're wondering where the next person is going to pop up at.
Yeah.
You know, and what is WWE going to look like going forward? We knew there were going to be some changes.
Right.
We knew there was going to be some releases.
Yeah. Love you guys. Love you too, Anthony.
And I just want to continue. Then the way that we do our shows, we do it as fans.
Right.
You know what I mean? We like to stay under the KFAB umbrella, so we like to look at it as fans. So I want to keep that childlike wonderment when I watch pro wrestling. And I couldn't when we were watching. Who's doing the stupid uppercut? I think it was the ladies, right? Was that AEW?
No, it was
NXT?
Becky. It was Becky when she was fighting Tiffany Stratton.
Oh yes. So if you watch NXT,
when Becky attacked Tiffany in the ring,
oh my gosh,
it was so awful. It was like she went back down to NXT and forgot how to connect on a move.
Forgot how to wrestle.
That was awful. I was so embarrassed for Becky. I was like, "What are you doing right now? Just give her the belt back.
You weren't hitting. It was cringe. It was so cringe. And as a fan, when I see crap like that, it takes me out. I'm like, you're fired. If that's how you're gonna wrestle. Be better.
Be better. Do better. And come back here
for some more A and B combos. Wrestling edition. We will be back later on, either tomorrow or this weekend. Because there's a lot more going on, man. There's a lot more going on. Get the merch.
Get the merch. Gotta disagree, homeboy.
Get the merch. Ravishing Pretty Richie. One last super chat for the night. Circle message. One more thing.
Yes.
What do you guys think about MJF versus Samoa Joe? And did you see Cole tweak his ankle during the finish? Yes. Yes, I hope Cole is going to be okay. I know. I think he was walking on crutches. Hopefully, it's just a sprain.
Yeah, dude. MJF. I think it was a little weird that they made MJF look like he beat Samoa Joe injured. I don't think that an injured MJF could beat Samoa Joe, so I didn't really care for that part of it. But I mean, you're not going to be able to give me a bad match when Samoa Joe's in it because he's not going to let you.
Well, Samoa Joe's another example of somebody in WWE that they put on the shelf.
Right, and look at him.
champion.
But you know, MJF has grown on me. I love this storyline with him and Adam Cole. The thing with Adam Cole in the hospital was freaking hilarious.
Roderick Strong's doing some of his best work.
Roderick Strong, man. AEW was the place for him. This is great. I'm loving the storylines they're starting to do. They're doing more behind the scenes, and I'm appreciating it. And I feel like now I'm usually not disappointed after an MJF or Samoa Joe match, and that one wasn't any different.
No, I love it. I'm a big fan of Samoa Joe. Always have been a big fan of Samoa Joe, and will continue to be a big fan of Samoa Joe because Samoa Joe is just a flat out badass. Whether he's a heel or a face, he's like, look, I'm taking you all out. I could ruin you on the mic. I could ruin you in the ring. How do you want it? I can give it to you however you want it.
However you feel.
I thought it was a good match. I don't know what it was about AEW last night. There was a lot of handshaking after the matches. There's a lot of shows of respect.
Yeah.
You know, like except for Sammy Guevara. Because it was shades. Yeah, he got
knocked.
He got crumpled.
That was awful. We were like, oh, is he dead?
He got crumpled. But I loved it because Sammy did the same thing to Jericho that Jericho did to HBK years ago. So that was lovely.
No, Three Diglets, no.
As far as Senior Money in the Bank goes, let me go ahead and get over to what you're saying. Three Diglets. First of all, thank you, Ravishing, Pretty Richie.
Yes,
Three Diglets.
Pretty Richie.
Priest next.
No, you are so wrong.
Imagine.
Fine, Tiffany Stratton next.
Imagine your undisputed tag team champion, Senior Money in the Bank.
Released with he takes the bank and the title.
He opens that briefcase and it's a pink slip.
Instead of a contract.
Imagine that. What? With a pop-up of McMahon that comes out, he opens up. Fire! Fire!
It's a pop-up, which reminds me, you got us a pop-up and we haven't opened it. We'll open that next time.
Oh, yeah, we do have one more piece of merch that we bought. We have no room.
Yeah.
We got to figure it out. We might get a different shelf and put something on there. So it's Alexa Bliss merch.
All right. Thank you, guys.
That's
we love
hilarious. It ain't going to be Priest. It's going to be somebody. Sarai and Tony Storm. Yeah, that kiss. That was
interesting.
But it still couldn't get the job done.
I know. I was like, you did all that and you didn't even pin her.
Still couldn't get the job done.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was a sick, twisted joke. Hey, not gonna lie, my boy, I don't know if I can walk around with you just smiling on my shirt like that. You can walk around. Okay? This is the shirt. I'm gonna wear this to work. I don't know about these numbers. I gotta disagree with you, homeboy.
If you could walk around with a shirt with Tupac on it, and I have a feeling you would, then you could walk around with him on it. Gotta represent.
Gotta represent. All right, man. We're gonna be back with another live. Thankfully, and thank you all because I disputed also our block, our unceremonious block of our video reaction to The Rock returning. That has been unblocked and ad supported on our other one. They kind of were messing with us a little bit, so I had to fight back. Yeah, I might block it. You know what I mean, man? It's all right, you know. But that's pretty much how I had to do it. They unblocked it. We're not 100% sure if we're going to be doing a Smackdown reaction or a live because it's a lot of work that we don't want to get dinked. We don't have to keep fighting all the time, so we'll see. At any rate, that is it. Bone Crusher is at my feet, taking a nap, just a straight nap. She's flat out knocked out.
Yes, I was, Anthony.
So thank y'all for joining us today. It is a rough day. It is. I don't even understand, but we will be back for some more A&B combos.
Funny Nation.
Edition. That is it, folks. Until next time, in honor of somebody else that'll probably be released, even though the one half of the women's tag team division, we will bid you.
Do.
Yeah, she going next.
No, she's not. Nikki Cross, yes.
Well, what about Chelsea Green?
has a title?
Doesn't matter. Ali had a title match.
That's different.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.